you ever had a Taki? You've had a Taki.
Yeah, I've had Takis.
Have a Taki.
What? No, I'm okay.
Have a Taki.
Bro, my stomach is filled with coffee and 1 pack of oatmeal.
Have a Taki.
I'm not eating one.
If you don't eat a Taki, I'm not doing this episode.
God, you're so annoying. Thanks, mister.
I love Takis. That is so fucking addictive.
That is pretty good.
They're so bad for you, though. Let's read the ingredients, shall you? Shall we? Shall you? It's all chemicals.
It's chemicals only.
It's just like all like red 40, yellow 6, natural acid.
Red 40, huh?
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Red 40. I'm gonna get jacked up.
Yeah.
I'm about to fucking go stab somebody.
What?
If I have too much red 40, I get crazy.
Are you serious?
No. But that's like a
Excuse me.
thing. You've heard that, right?
No.
Never heard of that?
Uh-uh.
Red 40 will make people go crazy, bro. It's like bath salts
Yeah?
for some people.
My least favorite thing about... Sorry. My least favorite thing about Takis... I'm such a piece of shit. All right, so...
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
We're gonna take turns eating this bag of Takis and chewing with our mouth open.
Dude, they're
Congratulations.
so fucking good. I gotta put these away.
Make sure you chew into the microphone.
I gotta put them away.
Yeah, lick your fingers.
Fucking Christ, bro. They're so good. They're literally addictive. By the time this airs, I'm sure I will have announced my EP. So, go pre-save that fucking EP. Or if it's fucking out, go stream that shit. As of right this second, though, I don't know what it's going to be called. So Karl and I are going to discuss it on the podcast, and we're going to figure out what we're going to call the EP.
Oh, I forgot we were gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, originally, the EP was going to be called Growing Pains. I already have a song out called Growing Pains, and I don't want to confuse people.
And it was 2 singles ago. Well, 1 single ago.
Yeah.
2 singles ago. It was the first one that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
it's been a minute. So to return to that is a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I don't want to confuse
It would
people.
definitely trip me up as a listener and
Yeah.
fan.
I agree. So, I don't want to call it... Oh, my God.
It feels like somebody's...
This is going to be quite the auditory experience.
It feels like somebody is cutting my appendix out of my body right now.
Takis will do that to you.
Well, I felt like this when we started, but
Oh.
the Taki's not going to help.
No, it's going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
But, so I don't want to call it Growing Pains. The other name that I have floating around is Slipstream. And that's my biggest contender. But let's break it down. Let's figure out exactly what we're going to call it.
Yeah.
So, you would know all the songs pretty well. What do you think the theme of the EP is? Lyrically. Or musically?
I'm just going to do lyrically. It's about probably
This is great. You're doing awesome.
your most I don't know. What are you talking about? It's being afraid of time for the most part.
I think, okay.
That's the main thing. You
glad-
touch on that on almost every song.
I'm glad this is coming around because I was afraid, because you do know the songs pretty well, and I was gonna say, like, if you can't come up with an overarching theme, then no one else is gonna be able to. So I'm glad it took you a minute, but I'm glad you got there.
Yeah.
Time. What did you just say? What was the
What?
What were the words that you said?
I said it's about uncovering. Never mind.
I don't think.
It's about being afraid of time.
Yeah. So Growing Pains starts off. It's like teen angst personified into a song where you're just like, oh yeah, man. It's like all about wanting to get older, to like figure it out and like be in a better position. And then you get older and you're like, oh, just kidding. That didn't do anything for me. I'm still fucked,
Yeah.
And then we have Inside, which is mostly a documentation of my feelings about leaving Philly / Doylestown, but it can be extrapolated to moving on from a certain part of your life.
Sure.
And then with you is the same side of that, or excuse me, a different side of the same coin of like leaving a certain part of your life and, wanting to bring some people along and like kind of coming to terms with my ambition for the future, but it's all forward looking. And then the last song is called Hindsight.
And it's about coming to terms with your bigotry. Your hatred for others.
Yeah.
It's about wishing death upon people on the road that take too long at green lights.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck.
Are you allowed to be bigoted against bad drivers?
Yeah. Because everybody is. The only people who aren't are rich people because they're getting driven around and they don't have to deal with it. But they probably still are.
Dude, let me tell you a story. I thought of this the other day. So I used to work. I might have told this on the podcast. Stop me.
I don't
if
think
I
you told
have.
it on the podcast. This is the Alto where the Alto
This
driver.
fucking cunt. I'll say
We
it.
don't say that word lightly. Okay?
I don't.
We don't
Well,
use it very often.
I do use it a lot. But this bitch was a cunt. So I'm driving for this thing called Alto. Alto is basically Uber.
It's a driving service.
But it's like a little bit more high end. Not legitimately more high end, but high end for people who want to feel rich, but they're not actually rich enough to afford personal drivers. It's mostly a clout thing. So I'm driving for Alto. I've been up since 4 fucking a.m. and I'm driving.
Why have you been up since 4 a.m.?
Because that's when I fucking started my shift.
That's when you used to have to go to work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about all that.
Yeah. I used to fucking work a valet service and work till like midnight and then wake up the next morning at 4 a.m. to go drive Alto and drive people to the fucking airport. Anyway, I'm driving this stupid fucking bitch and her goddamn friends. I pick them up. They come out. They're late. That's not part of like the service. Like part of the service is you can make your driver wait and it's not that big a deal. So whatever. And they get in the car.
So what you're saying is that you were doing your job properly.
I was doing my job very well. Also, Alto stresses so hard that you are not to speed. You're to obey all traffic laws, blah, 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 blah.
Right. As they all probably tell you to.
Yeah. So I am going the speed limit, and there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic. And this lady is like, can you go a little bit faster? Like, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll do my best, but, I got to follow the laws or whatever. And then, like, she just started making these little side comments to her stupid other cunt friend. They're, like, giggling, and she's like, it literally feels like we're, like, going in, like, slow motion. And then she's, like, talking shit about my driving to her husband or boyfriend or whatever. Like, he's literally driving so slow, and he's, like, there's traffic in front of us. He's on my side, and she's fucking going off. I wanted to punt this bitch across the fucking street. I have never felt so disrespected in my entire fucking life. The way she was speaking made me want to fucking drive into head-on traffic.
So that's what David's 4th single on the EP is about. In case anybody was wondering, it's about that fucking stupid asshole lady.
Oh, she was such a fucking bitch, dude. And then
Maybe she's dead now.
I know where she lives.
No shit.
Yeah, because I
Let's
picked
go
her
make
up
it
at her house.
happen.
I passed her house the one time. I was like, that's that fucking bitch's house. Just like we were.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's go do a poop dollar in front of her house or something. the poop bag on fire. Or
Oh,
whatever, so
she was the
stomps
worst.
it
Don't
out.
talk to people like that, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, you know what? Fucking, I was just talking about this again today, but remember the fucking question I had for you guys last week where I was like, if you were a fascist dictator and your regime successfully conquered the United States, what laws would you impose?
Mm-hmm.
My law of putting people to death that are ill-mannered is a great...
Carl's giving
That's
people
a perfect thing for a fascist dictator to do. I'm fucking eliminating the First Amendment partially. in that you can't be a rude fucking cunt to people. You have to be well mannered. Otherwise, a cop on a motorcycle is going to come and fucking kill you.
Karl has motorcycle death squads.
Yeah.
To eliminate the rude.
Yeah. So, fucking think twice when you call an alto. Fucking in my world. Anyway.
What did I say? I said I was gonna add an extra day to the week. What do I call it? In between Sunday and Monday. I feel like Sunday, for a lot of people, it used to be like the relaxed day, right? Like Sunday's off, like everything's closed, blah, blah, blah. But now it's just like, it's just morphed into just another fucking day where you got to get shit done. What did I call it?
Gun day.
Gun day. So in between Sunday and Monday, there's going to be gun day.
But we're not adjusting for any sort of astrology-based science here.
So
we're
just
just
gonna
gonna fuck the world. We're gonna add another 52 days to the year,
And we're gonna
then
keep
eventually
the
summer is
12-month
gonna be
calendar.
in winter, and we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No more leap years either.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna fuck everything up.
Super fucked up.
Yeah, we'll have no way to account for time anymore.
Yeah. And if you're rude to me about it, Karl's Death Squad's going to kill you. So shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the EP, what are we going to call it?
Motorcycle Death Squad.
Motorcycle Death Squad. So I was thinking about calling it Slipstream. That feels sick. That feels like such a cool name. But do you have any other suggestions, Karl? What would you call it? What are you calling your EP? Do you know?
I don't know what I'm going to call the first one or the second one. I was going to call the album, when it was still an album, I was going to call it Think Aloud.
Think Aloud.
So that, I think I might use that as the second EP, because that was also a song, and it's still on the second EP. So I think I might do that for the second one. First one, I don't know. Maybe I'll just fucking call it one of the song names or something. Probably not Unbelievably Plain, though. That's a pretty bad name for an EP.
Unbelievably Plain.
Maybe Rose Champion. That's a good one.
Rose Champion. I don't know. I kind of like Unbelievably Plain.
For the EP name? Maybe.
Sets the bar low, you know? Everyone's gonna be extremely happy when they think it's gonna be Unbelievably Plain, and then they get the EP. So like, you know, their expectations are set properly.
Yeah, all right. It's good. It's a good idea.
You know.
And then I'll make the album artwork is really simple too. It's just I'm just gonna do
a white canvas,
gray square.
Yeah.
With.
Hey, how often do you write songs that you totally scrap?
Jesus fucking Christ, all the time. I mean, I have many.
How far? No, okay, obviously, like you just like hey, whatever, but like how far?
Pretty often we'll write lyrics for an entire song that will never come to fruition.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a lot of
very, very, very long lyrics tab that in my notes on my phone, because like I had multiple notebooks with all my songs in it, and I took all of them and typed them out and put them in a notes tab on my phone. So I have like at least 30 songs with at least half of the lyrics written, with no musical ideas for them whatsoever. It's pretty much just poems.
Just poems.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like you've got.
But also, you know how I write music, and they were all written with like some semblance of music in my head.
Okay, so you have ideas. No, I'm talking about like you recorded things and you got like 50 to 70% done, and then you're just like, nope, it's not working.
Well, I mean, I had that entire album from 3 years ago.
How many songs were on that?
It's gonna be like.
Were all of them recorded too?
At least partially, yeah, like 10 songs probably.
And why didn't you record it or release it?
Oh, I got sick of it and just got bogged down, kind of similarly to right now.
This
which is why
fucking
I'm trying to which is why I split it into 2 EPs and taking vocal lessons and all that to like stay confident and stay on top of things and have a more realistic approach to it, so I don't just like tell myself.
Oh, you know your Twitter got hacked?
Yeah, apparently. I just heard about that today. I don't really know what I'm going to do. It's not the Olympic formal one, right? It's just Karl Williams.
Karl Williams. Just let it die. Who gives a shit?
I don't really care.
Just let it be a crypto account.
Maybe I'll just like on the Olympic formal Instagram or Twitter, I'll harass Karl Williams 31 all the time as Olympic formal, and I'll be like,
that could be fun.
Karl Williams 31, a bitch, you know?
Yeah. Does anyone even use Twitter anymore?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Kanye West likes Twitter.
How about Snapchat? Is Snapchat still a thing?
Yeah.
How about Street Chat? Is Street Chat still a thing?
How about Yik Yak?
Yik Yak?
Is Yik Yak still a thing?
What other? Be Real. Does anyone be real anymore?
Yeah, people be real.
That was fun for like 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else, you fall victim to realizing that you do the same thing every single day, and you're
Jesus
just
Christ.
fucking. Be Real's only fun when you're on vacation or something.
I will say though, it's kind of like it's like a productivity hack, Because if you're Be Real, like I look back at my Be Real, and like for like 2 weeks, it was like every time. What are you doing? Oh, you're taking a Be Real. No, he's taking a fucking video. Why are you taking a video of Jake?
Of Jake fucking hanging out on the couch under a blanket while we do the podcast.
I'll put it up on the fucking thing.
You don't have to. I just wanted it. I mean, you can if you want. I just think it's hilarious. We just have a friend resisting the urge to take a nap 4 feet to my right.
But Be Real.
Be Real.
Anyone who doesn't know what Be Real is, a notification goes off every day at the same time for everybody who has the app, and you have to take a photo of exactly what you're doing. Anyway, it was like a productivity hack because like for 2 weeks, every time Be Real went off, like I looked back at all my B Reels and I was like always working on music or like editing something or doing this, that, and the other thing.
Like you were encouraged.
And then like for a week later, I looked back at my B Reel. I was like, I didn't do shit that day. That day, my B Reel, like, obviously sometimes it just lines up where you're eating lunch, but like for like a whole week, and it made me feel like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh man, I got to make sure,
It always makes me feel like a piece of shit when B Reel goes off on like a Friday night and I'm in bed. Like,
yeah.
Fuck, man. God damn it.
It also just made me feel like not a piece of shit, like me myself, but it made me feel really sad for a lot of people because a lot of people were legitimately just in fucking cubicles, and I was like, holy fuck, that is someone's life for the next 25 years.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe
Times
so.
are changing, bro. People don't stay at their jobs anymore. It's not
Yeah.
like that. You want to know why? I was talking about this recently, actually, and I would like to hear what you think maybe it is.
Sure.
People don't stay at their jobs very often anymore in our generation. It's becoming more of a thing that people like really bounce around because essentially the promotion has died. Like people don't really invest in their employees enough to make it worth it for them to stay invested in the company as well and stay there and be like, oh, if you stay here for X amount of time, we're going to pay for you to get all these certifications, and then you're going to get this amount of bonuses and this amount of a salary increase. Like, generally, economics has changed in a lot of ways, but I don't remember who was saying that to me, but I thought it was a pretty interesting perspective.
I mean, I can't say for sure because I don't.
But, like, how many people... Think about how many people in our parents' generation stayed at like the same job for 25 years.
No,
and then
it's
collected
definitely
a pension.
true that like you used to stay at a job for very long and now you don't, and now you get like you stay at a job for like 5 years and then you move on. That's 100% true. Yeah. My only thing is like what you're saying is like the promotion has died and people aren't like companies don't invest in their employees or whatever. I can't say that's true or not because I've never been in that like situation, and I don't even know other people who are in those situations. I just like, you know what I mean? So I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet that fucking Indeed and shit like that has something to do with it. You have access to the entire workforce of the United States, not just like the people within your vicinity.
Oh yeah.
So that definitely has something to do with it. It you know, correlation, causation, whatever. But like, it just seems very obvious to me.
It's so crazy, like how much has changed because of that stupid fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
really makes you think, man. What were you saying? You're still here?
The biggest thing for me that I've noticed is the imbalance between what people like. Everyone says that like Gen Z. I guess we're Gen Z, right?
I think technically, yeah.
We're Zillennials.
Kind of. I don't know.
I think
we're right on the
whatever.
It's
Whatever.
safer
Shut
to
up.
say.
Shut up. Doesn't fucking matter.
God.
I've had this conversation like 72 million times. I feel like. Everyone's like, you know, like Gen Z's, you're a bunch of like fucking lazy pieces of shit or whatever, and like you guys don't want to work, blah 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 blah. And then it's on the other side of the coin that I'm on, where it's like, no, I just don't want to work. I don't want to work for $9 an hour. I don't know what it's like in Philly right now, but I remember
3 years ago.
3 years ago, looking for jobs for $9 an hour.
It's crazy.
And now I think about, like, fuck, dude. $9 an hour. Most jobs that I could get, I was still in college, but, like, most jobs that I was looking for, I was like $9 an hour. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. And unrealistic expectations from business owners and, you know, just this fucking weird imbalance between what you're expected to pay and what you're expected to live off of versus the cost of living. Obviously, inflation is fucking real and all that shit, but this is
Nobody is ever going to understand what you just said.
What did I say?
He said, obviously, inflation is something. I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck this topic. This is stupid. We have to end this podcast anyway.
We have a couple minutes.
Yeah. So, jobs, man. Jobs. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. What's the worst job you've ever worked?
Ooh. I really, really, really hated Bonton, but that's not like a shitty job. There's no point in like telling that story. I just didn't like it. I don't know.
Great answer.
I don't know. I haven't. It's not because I don't have anything that's entertaining as far as like a shit job. You know, I haven't.
I had a shit job.
I know you did.
Yeah. Should I be?
Everybody, I should say the gas station because that would make sense, right? Like,
no, the gas station was a lit job.
It was so great for the years that we did it. It would not. It would not be great if I was still doing it.
Shout out to Nick and Al Torsini, dude.
Yeah,
those guys,
best fucking bosses ever, bro.
They saved my fucking life.
Yeah, they were amazing. I mean,
yeah, they really hooked it up. Fucking. Yeah, but I had a job. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. He probably doesn't listen to the podcast. His son might, but whatever. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, he probably is going to agree with you. So
I don't know. It's his dad. But, like, I worked for this fucking guy. He's a fucking piece of shit. So boring. Oh, my God. Just literally nothing interesting to say. The most saltine cracker fucking person on the planet. And he was a painter, and he was, like, paying me, like, it was like $14 an hour on the books. And then one day he came to me. He's like, hey, I want to pay you cash. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll get paid cash, $14 an hour. I won't pay the taxes. And then I'll get more money. And he's like, and I was like, okay, that works. And then he's like, all right, cool. So we'll move you to like $12 an hour or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, well, yeah, we're going to keep you the same like net pay, but I'll just pay you cash. And I was like, that makes no fucking sense. Please fuck off. He also used to make me like, I was obviously painting houses, so I was like really, really high up, and he'd be like bitching at me to like go faster. I'm like, dude, I'm like 100 feet in the air. Please go fuck yourself. I'm not running up this ladder. Suck my fucking dick. Anyway, goodbye, everybody.